Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christy Day, Director of Communications with the Department of Education. I thank everyone for being here today. We are pleased today to announce the new academic competition in West Virginia, the Academic Showdown. This is a head-to-head competition that will launch in just over a week, and it has been well received throughout our high school and broader education community. This initiative is a collaboration between the Office of the Senate President Craig Blair, who is here today. Thank you so much for hosting us. Also, the West Virginia Board of Education and Department of Education, the West Virginia Higher Education Commission, the West Virginia Division of Arts, Culture, and History, which has granted us access from our partner, the West Virginia Public Broadcasting. So we thank everyone who is here today and that has supported this effort. We welcome members of the media that are joining us in person, as well as those who have joined us via Teams. Our speakers today have other obligations, so we will have a hard stop to this event. And those wanting to ask questions who are online may submit those in the chat, and we will get to as many of those as possible. Also, you can email me with follow-up questions that will be accommodated this afternoon. With that, I want to turn the podium over to our State Superintendent of Schools, W. Clayton Birch, who will offer greetings and more information. Superintendent?
Thank you, Christy. Thank you all for coming, and I think Senate President knows that I'm not going to start off this press release without telling a little bit of a story on him. So at one point in time, about a year ago, Chancellor Tucker and I, who do a lot of projects together, she says, hey, you need to go see Senator Blair. He's got an idea. And at the time, our governmental relations person, Sarah Stewart, took us over. We met with Senator Blair, and he pitched this idea, and he says, look, this is what I want. Can we create a game show, an academic game show that highlights the students from across the state and make this a competition, and I think I heard him say words like big, cheerleaders, bands. Like, let's really make this an event that highlights our best and brightest students in the state of West Virginia. And I'll be honest with you, I walked out of the meeting and I thought, did they just paint his office, or, what's he thinking? Does he really want something this big and this bold? A few weeks later, we started sharing ideas. Chancellor Tucker, who you're going to hear about from today, working with Senator Blair, he was serious. He wanted us to create something, and here we are in the midst of a pandemic. We will have, for the first year, 29 teams compete statewide in West Virginia's Academic Showdown that started in your office with an idea you pitched to us. And I just want to say that I'm actually very, very grateful that not only did he pitch it, but he has actually supported us the entire time to make sure it continued moving forward, and we got to this point in time. We're really, really excited. You're going to hear from many of the speakers and folks who put it together. And again, I'm going to reiterate, 29 teams the first year from 19 schools are going to be participating. And we already have a commitment from at least 25 more teams next year. This is exciting already. We're going to hear from Chancellor Tucker, and I'm so excited and appreciative that these are actually going to be hosted at our institutes of higher education across the state. And what a venue for our high school students to come together in such a competition. And then as we wind up, we are going to recognize Curator Randall Reed Smith, who has a long history of hosting our 8th grade Quiz Bowl academic. The official name is our 8th grade Quiz Bowl, but he does a wonderful job with that, and he has agreed that this type of competition needs the fanfare, needs the recognition, and it will be held here in Charleston, West Virginia at the Culture Center, and we are so excited, and we thank Randall Reed Smith for that. So at this time, I do want to turn the podium over and welcome Senator Craig Blair, who this entire idea started in his office, and here we are a year later. And I just, once again, on behalf of the Department of Education, Board of Education, and our partnership with Sarah, we thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Do I get to tell the rest of the story now, the whole story? Because I like telling the whole story. Actually, the way this worked out is that I'd just become the Senate President, and they were asking if there was anything they could do for me. And I go, as a matter of fact, there was. And I applaud you and the Chancellor for following through, everybody for following through on this vision. Fact of the matter is that, look, this is about our education, but this is about showcasing West Virginia. This is about dreaming big. I think this is one of the things that we failed to do any longer in this tour. We didn't. We lost the ability to dream big. This is dreaming big. In Baltimore and Washington, they have a thing called It's Academic. I watched it when I was a kid. And then I came down here in the House of Delegates. Randall Reed Smith had the History Bowl, and he's listened to me barking him for years about wanting to get this done. And so I took that opportunity, one of the few opportunities, the Senate President, to squeeze somebody to get something that I personally wanted. And I wanted it for a multitude of reasons. First of all, you've got our best and brightest. We need to showcase them just like we do student athletes. Okay, and it's good for economic development. You put this out on all the TV stations, and if CEOs are coming through or people are visiting this state and they're watching on TV and they're seeing our students being displayed, that sends a tremendous message to corporate America. The next part of it is to see those cameras there. There's a whole industry for people like me that is not quite the best and brightest. But I love doing things with my hands. I can edit video photography and things like that. We need to be teaching that because there's big money in that. And it gives them an opportunity to get behind the cameras, be part of it, be part of something. You worry about the drugs and the alcoholism and all this stuff in our students. You give them an opportunity to participate and compete. And you will have a successful outcome with those students. A vacuum creates just the opposite. They're looking for some place to go, misbehave. Again, I'll throw my hand up. I was one of them. So I can tell you what works and what doesn't work. This is a beautiful opportunity. And yes, I want to see cheerleaders in the stands, football team, basketball team, whatever, rooting them on, rooting their school on. Their teachers ought to be showcased. We can find sponsors out here too. The Giant Food does it in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area. I'll help you find those sponsors. I have no problems about it. And by what you get, since the press is here, you can go ahead and say that I'd love for anybody that's interested in helping sponsor this and make this effective so that it's in every school, high school in this state. Call my office. I'll help get you connected up so that we can build this out. Please, run that, ladies and gentlemen. I would welcome that. There's one other aspect of it too, and that is getting our students into the university and the CTC environment. And they already have the cameras and all. It was just a matter of building a set. Get them out there, out of their local, and let them see that the world is bigger. It's more than just graduating from high school. The world is actually their oyster if they're willing to take it. This is helping them understand, and even if they're not part of the academic team, they'll be practicing at the schools, and the best and brightest will be working together. I talk too much. But this is going to be a great month for me, I think, and this is the beginning of it. I'm an enthusiastic supporter of getting a great education in this state. Not a good one, a great one. And this is the beginning to showcase how great our education system is, how great our teachers are, everybody involved. I'm going to shut up. But I feel better. And now when it comes to the universities, the Chancellor Sarah Tucker, get up here. Both of you two are far better speakers than I am. I am just enthusiastic. So please.
Thank you. Well, the Senate President said that he was going to tell you the rest of the story. I'll tell you the rest of the story, which is that after Clayton and I both asked him those questions, it then got followed up every time we saw him in the hallway. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Clayton. What's going on with the Academic Showdown? I'd see him at a restaurant. Hey, Sarah. What's going on with the Academic Showdown? Hey, Sarah. I want to talk to you about something else, but before we do, what's going on with the Academic Showdown? And so he kept us honest and made sure that we were following through with what we knew was what was best for our state. And we both of us think that this is just such a tremendous opportunity. It's such a good partnership between K-12 and higher education. It's such a good partnership with the Senate President. And one of the things that he said to us at the beginning of this that really struck a chord with me was that he wanted to do this because we do such a great job of celebrating athletes. We do such a great job of celebrating athletes. We don't do such a good job of celebrating students who are performing academically, and that doesn't make any sense, and that doesn't move our state forward. And so he wanted to make sure that we were showcasing our students who were good academically just as much as we were showcasing those students who were great athletically, which is why he wants the football team to support them and why he wants the cheerleaders there and why he wants the TV screens there. They're there every Saturday for a football game. Why can't they be there for an academic quiz show, right? They should be. So we're really excited about this inaugural event, or this series of events. I want to give you a little bit of rundown for the schedule. Our inaugural host universities have planned really exceptional regional events for our teams. The institutions participating in the first year are Marshall University, which is hosting its first competition on January the 15th, Shepherd University, which is hosting on January the 22nd, West Virginia University, which is hosting on January the 29th. I'm having trouble with the word hosting, huh? Concord University on February the 12th, and West Virginia State University on February the 19th. The advancing high school teams will then come to Charleston, West Virginia, to the Culture Center for their grand finale statewide championship on March 25th. As we have already said, Randall Reed Smith has been an unbelievable partner in all of this, and he has a phenomenal finale in the works. I cannot wait to go to it and see all of the incredible things that you have put together. I really can't imagine a better way to showcase our universities and colleges to the state of West Virginia, and most importantly, to our high school students. We have incredible gems in this state. We have unbelievable opportunities. We have affordable opportunities for them to get a higher education and to allow them to be exposed to those institutions, to see what life could be, to increase their vision about what their life could be. That is my hope for this tournament, and I'm so excited about it. Clayton, thank you for your partnership as always. We partner on so many things, and I know people think that may just be words that we say, but it's not. It's the way that we're trying to move our system of education forward in the state of West Virginia. Thank you to our first year host universities who are welcoming our high school students and so many more. And thank you to President Blair for this vision and for all of your support. We truly appreciate it. Now it is my pleasure to turn the mic over to State Board of Education President Miller Hall.
Good afternoon, everyone. Senator Chancellor Tucker, thank you. And we all appreciate your partnership and collaboration with the West Virginia Department of Education and so many other projects that you have helped us with, and we really appreciate that. I'm sure that students across the state of West Virginia also appreciate that. President Blair, you said, well, passion. Thank you for the passion. You see, that's what this is all about. It's about passion. It's about vision. Randall Reed Smith is passion and vision, and that's what we need in the state of West Virginia. So thank you for what you're doing. It's great for us. It's going to be great for the communities, and most of all, it's going to be great for our young people. Again, thank you for that. I'm so excited because it's coming to fruition. First Academic Regional Showdown Regional, over a week away. It's because of you. It's because of your vision. So don't you ever sell yourself short. You see, we need people with passion. That's what's happening right now. When you lose your passion, you lose your focus. So continue to be passionate. It's very important that we celebrate our children for their accomplishment, no matter what they may be. We run to athletic events, courts, fields, student athletes throughout the year. We now have the opportunity to celebrate academic excellence through this program. When I was the principal a long time ago, I had a program called the Academic Champions. It's something similar to what you're talking about. Academic champions, the ones that wasn't involved in sports or the ones that was involved in sports. They had to keep their grades up. We have sponsors, and we gave them prizes. We gave them different things, and it was terrific. This is about in the same line, but yours is larger. I had one school. You got the state of West Virginia, and that's a tribute to you. And don't you ever forget that. That's a tribute to you. As a former principal and lifelong educator, I know what it means to see and acknowledge young people, including my own. They wasn't athletes, but they were students. And today they got a terrific education from West Virginia, and they moved on. Those who may not be engaged in athletics or the arts, still have interests that are worthy of our attention. And we're going to give them our attention. I'm telling you right now, you can put this on your news. We will, as a board members, we will go visit these programs, these projects. We will go because we are part of this. And when you're part of something, you need to support it. How do I know? Because when you support our young people, they feel good about it, and it makes them get excited. This program allows us to celebrate those who pursue academic excellence in the competitive arena. Notice the word competitive arena. The academics, that's the vehicle that drives us. That's the vehicle that drives us. Academics is great, athletics is great, but the academics is the one we have to point out because we stress it in our household. That's what drives you. That's the vehicle that drives you to take you where you need to go. How do I know? Because I had two that did it. Schools had a lot on their plates this year, yet they were able to pull together teams and prepare for a high level of competition. And I commend them for that. What does it tell you? They're excited. You see, they're excited. See, there's so much things about the COVID, and it's COVID, and it's not good. But these young people got something now they can hang on to. They can hang on to. I got a chance to perform. I got a chance to be in the arena. And we want the people to go in and cheer for them. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to the schools, get those young people to go in and cheer for them. And when you cheer together, you do things together, it calls for education leadership. So I challenge our communities to celebrate these scholars the way we celebrate the student athlete. So we can encourage all of the students, regardless of their interests. And that's the real key when all students come and see they have an important role in their education and in their lives. In their schools, all of a sudden it becomes pride. They take personal responsibility in daily effort, and that's what we're looking for. And then the enrollment, it's the dropouts. The students they tend not to drop out. They want to be in school. So thank you. And again, as I close, Chris, today, I'd like for you to return for recognitions.
Thank you, President Hall. I appreciate that. We do want to make sure that we recognize our partners who are here in attendance and those who are supporting our various organizations. Vice President Tom Campbell, who's the Vice President of our Board of Education, is here. Thank you so much for coming. Also, we have Randall Reed Smith, who's the curator of West Virginia Division of Arts, Culture, and History. We thank you so much. We're looking forward to what's going to happen the end of March. Thank you so much. And we also have Sonia White, who is the officer with the West Virginia Department of Education. She's here. Dr. White, thank you. We also want to mention that public broadcasting will be streaming the finale on the 25th, and they will also be providing a highlight show prior to that. So there'll be more information forthcoming. But before we take questions, I do ask that the partners come up so we can get a quick picture because we know some of you have to leave relatively quickly. So we would ask the superintendent and, of course, Chancellor, President Blair, Mr. Hall, Vice President Campbell, Curator, if you're interested in coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Should we get in front of the
I'm more
podium?
of a back row guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll stand in front of the podium. Oh, in front? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You first talked about
I know that.
Thank you.
I'm going to have a cigarette drink.
Sometimes that is
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
I can look up, we've known each other 20 years now. We've known each other 20 years. It's been a while ago.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is. I looked it up and thought, oh my God.
I sat in the had dinner yesterday, or lunch yesterday at Tyler, and I looked at my face, and I'm like, I'm no longer a younger man.
Well, I'm with you. We're back to that.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any questions? Okay, Steve.
Yeah, Steve Adams, Talking Newspapers. I'm a former co-captain of my high school quiz bowl team, St. Mary's High School, 97 through 99. We used to have scores, even WOWK used to have high Q back in the day. There was a real active quiz bowl community, at least a long time ago. Is part of the goal, you've obviously talked about what you want to do, is also part of the goal to try to kind of reboot that and get high schools interested and maybe restoring and having permanent quiz bowl teams again?
Steve, St. Mary's, huh? I drove up the road from you. It actually is. So when we met with Senator Blair, we've got Joey Wiseman here from our Office of Secondary. Joey was the first to point out that, hey, we do have a history of quiz bowls. We have a history of academic, we have the history bowl that Randall Reed Smith does. But I think that's exactly what you said at the end was this is a reboot. And when Senator Blair came forward, this was about a bigger, more prominent statewide competition. So he really wanted to take it to the next level of, yeah, we've had our quiz bowls in the past, but let's actually create a tournament, and I like that word, arena, competitive arena feel to this, so that you're actually in these regional competitions, competing to get to that state tournament and actually having a state champion.
Can I make one more comment? The way I see it, it's like a team concept where everyone in that school is trying to help one another to get where they need to go. Some athletic arena, some academic arena, but when they all come together, they play an important role in the success of their community. The stronger the communities, the stronger the schools, the stronger the schools, the stronger the community. So it's a community thing where everybody have ownership and buy-in, and they feel better about going to school. Make things happen.
Thank you.
Superintendent, we have a couple of online questions.
Sure.
And we also have Joey Wiseman and Karen Linville here as well. WDTV wants to know, where will families be able to get more information, and can you repeat how many times they were participating? So we know that we're getting interest for next year. We believe the cutoff for this year is done.
Yeah, so this year, we got our 29 teams. That way they had time to prepare, and to be honest with you, we're talking about full-fledged practices too. Yeah. We're not talking about just, we form a team and we go show up. These folks have been preparing all fall, and they are a legitimate team. They are full-fledged practices. And they're taking this very serious. We already have around 25 more teams next year, and I will tell you, I know Chancellor Tucker has already had to slip out. That is only the start of the regional competitions. I think and I'm kind of looking at Senator Blair, I think that vision is, he said earlier, we want every high school to participate. We want every high school to have at least one team, if not multiple teams, and we want more colleges and universities to step up and host these. And I think the more you're going to see this move forward, in a very, very short snippet in Senator Blair's presentation, he talked about, one of the things we've kind of not highlighted is we have an opportunity here for our career technical education students to get involved also. They come in, they get involved in the broadcasting element of this. They get involved in the publication of this. They get involved in the communications of this. And the more and more we can promote that, the more and more we can promote this entire academic showdown.
And the development of the questions as well. That can be done in the university students, the faculty, the list goes on for that.
Partnerships are absolutely unlimited here.
And this question we may have to refer to Joey or to Karen. A question is, have the team members of the schools already been chosen, and how were they chosen? Was there any kind of qualifying test for them to participate?
So we actually did a teams meeting with all the schools who were interested in participating back in August. So we met with them. We had several schools who were interested. And then the schools themselves decided on the selection, the application process, and how they selected the teams. Many schools who had a large group of students who wanted to participate, you will notice, have two teams. So that's why you'll know some of our schools have two teams, others just have one. So the larger participation, the more they decided to choose two teams. So that application process, if they did, some of the schools created a quiz. They had various ways to actually select those students. So that would be an individual question for each individual school at this point.
Joey, we have a part 2 of that question. Is this the type of quiz bowl format where students are read a question and they don't have to wait until the question is over to buzz in and answer, increasing their chance of getting points if they know they're about the subject? Or is it more like Jeopardy where they have to wait till the end and race to buzz in?
So we actually mirrored it since our 8th grade students already participate in the History Bowl. And so since that's been a huge success around the state. So we mirrored it after that. There's 2 set types. There's one where the team captain and the entire team confers on the question. And so they answered, that's round 1. And then the second round is actually each student can buzz in at any time during the question. However, if they do buzz in, the question, they stop reading the question, and the student has to answer. If they answer it incorrectly, then the moderator will finish reading the question, and other students have the opportunity to steal from the other team.
Thank you, Joey.
I've got one last question myself. Each of these teams are going to have a coach, and that's a teacher. Is that teacher going to be highlighted on the show so that they can see, that the schools can see that teacher?
Yes, and our plan is to actually get snippets right now prior to them coming. We actually plan on going out and visiting the schools as they're practicing and actually getting videos from their classrooms as they practice and rehearse, and we'll create that and highlight those teachers as well.
Good.
All right, so with that, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Senator Blair. If you have any questions beyond what's already been asked for those online, they are welcome to email me those questions. Thank you all so much.